Hey guys, it's Aiden from Gamers Class. Today I'm going to be doing another replay analysis for a member of Gamers Class. So before we get into the replay, a little bit about myself is that the primary role I play is safe lane carry, and the peak MMR I've achieved is 8,200. So getting in today's replay, we're going to be looking at the Limesters game today. They're going to be playing the safe lane Phantom Assassin. Their MMR is 3,500, and they also wrote a question here. They asked how to creep skip the mid lane around 26 to 28 minutes. So yeah, we'll definitely have a look at that and get into the replay here. So
if you like this kind of content, go to gamersguys.com. For just $10 a month, get your replays analyzed, watch masterclasses with pro players, join weekly coaching sessions, win prizes, and more with our Supreme Dota 2 membership.
So yeah, playing PA, we are laning with probably Ench, I assume. Okay, looks like we're playing with Earthshaker, so obviously that makes our lane a lot weaker. We're laning against probably Darkseer plus Windrunner or Zeus, I would say. Like, it's either Windrunner or Zeus mid, and then it's a safe lane Clinks with what I assume is a Snapfire Pos 5. But at the same time, they can do quite a lot of things with their heroes. It's not like 100% for sure their lanes. So you're just going to be expecting to lane against Darkseer. You decide to go Quelling Blade, 1 Tango, 1 Solve, 2 Ironwood Branch. Yeah, so this build is not bad, but you should definitely be buying like a Circlet here or a Slipper to finish off the build. Like, you really want these extra stats, and it's really nice to also have you know, like the item to go into the Wraith Band. So you want to buy the Wraith Band anyways, so starting with the Circlet and the Slippers just is a nice, you know, item to buy, because it makes you stronger at the start, as well as it buys into Wraith Band. The other thing you can consider doing in this lane is going a Ring of Regen build. Like, you're having this Ring of Regen is really nice against heroes like Darkseer. So I'll talk about that a bit. Okay, so we're contesting the Ruin. It's just a Darkseer, so this should be... It's fine to contest here. Obviously, he outclicks you there. That's unfortunate. Obviously, if you're a high ping player like myself, you're not going to be able to grab that Ruin, so I understand there. When it comes to the item board, what I was just saying is you're laning against Darkseer probably with Zeus or Windrunner, right? So like the Ring of Regen build is really nice in this lane, because both of these heroes are going to be using their spells and right clicking you to like annoy you in the lane, so the sustain is very nice. So I would definitely be buying the Ring of Regen build in this lane. So if you don't know that build, obviously it's not like a set build, but the build I like that I feel like is really good right now in this meta: Quelling Blade, Ring of Regen, a Circlet, 1 set of Tango, and Iron Branch, and then you just have really solid stats and regen. And then what you're going to be looking to do in this lane, you might want to carry out another set of Tangos later on in the lane. In the start, you're going to try not take too much damage from iron shells and stuff. You're going to try and minimize the damage you take. So you're going to be positioning in a way you don't take damage from that. You want to keep the lane as close to your tower as long as possible, and without being in the tower range. And then you're just going to look to get out your stick as soon as you can. It's really nice with both these heroes. They both spam their spells quite a bit. And then you're just going to look to go like 1 Wraith Band. Then you're just going to go straight into the treads most probably. You can also consider getting the Ring of Health as like before your treads, because that is again, it's nice to buy that versus Darkseer, because as the lane goes on, it can really get harder because you take a lot of damage. But also it's also perfectly fine to just go treads and then just farm the jungle a bit more and just shove in, because you're gonna farm a lot faster if you have treads compared to a Ring of Health. So you know, you kind of just looking to buy these sustain items for the lane and transition it into a good laning stage. So we'll see how you play the lane here. The lane is in a very good position, so you should be able to get all these last hits. Very good last hitting on the first wave. Very good last hitting. You get the range creep deny and the melee creep, and you get every last hit. So that was a perfect wave, pretty much. These creeps you should be contesting. Also, it's interesting to see that this Darkseer is not really laning. But yeah, you do. I'm not sure why you're not going for this creep, right? Like, it's just Windrunner in the lane. You're in your tower range, and there's no Darkseer. There's no iron shells or anything, right? So there's like no reason to be afraid here. So definitely you should just be contesting these creeps, but still it's okay. Again, I'd say because it seems like the Windrunner is playing more in the lane right now, I'd say I would just buy out a Wraith Band now as soon as I can, and then next I'd buy the stick just because of how the lane is going, because Wraith Band is going to be really nice just for last hitting, and also it helps against Windrunner against the right clicks. I like the use of the aggro there to help you get the last hits. It's very nice. Continue doing that. The better you get at that, the easier your games are just gonna get as well. So, okay, missed a couple of last hits there. Also, they pulled, so you don't. This is fine as well because you're level 2. So this is a nice play. You realize that you get level 2 of this creep, and it's still level 1 Windrunner, right? And you know that she used power shot. So when you jump on her here, you know that she's just going to take a bunch of damage. She can't really turn and fight you. Your whole creep wave is pushing into her. So this is a very good time to play aggressively. So this is very good. And now you get a good damage there. Obviously not going to be able to kill her because she has a big stick. And then you're going to go and contest the pool. You're going to try to get the last hit on this big creep if possible. Looks like it's not gonna die. And you can also try kill this Darkseer. He's only level 1. He's very weak and he doesn't have his surge yet, so he can't actually escape. So you could have went really aggressively there on that Darkseer. Like, you probably could have killed him. And this is some nice farm here. You'll get the gold there. You are taking a bit too long to spend your golds, in my opinion. Like, you should have already cleared out your stick and Wraith Band or whatever, right? I feel like you're waiting very long with your gold. You could also just go like boots, glove of haste or something as well. It's not bad, but personally in this scenario, I'll just buy stick and Wraith Band, and then because you have so much gold, you're probably going to be able to get a glove of haste as well, and then just go for those treads into the Battle Fury. The reason why I kind of like Battle Fury in this game is I look at their heroes, and firstly, they don't really have a hero that's going to be able to contest scaling with you, right? Like, sure, they have decent ways to deal with you with like Zeus and stuff, but once you hit that like 20-minute timing, if you have a good timings where you have like Battle Fury plus Desolator, and then you're gonna, or you could be Battle Fury BKB, and then like 23 minutes you're gonna get your next item, and you're just gonna run around and kill everyone on this team because they don't have a hero that can really contest you that much, especially when you hit your BKB timing. So Battle Fury, like when you're playing a game that revolves around your BKB timing as a hero like PA and stuff, it's generally very nice to go Battle Fury because it helps you hit that timing earlier. While at the same time allowing you to scale with farming, right? The other nice thing is they actually have really bad heroes at pushing towers other than Clinks, so they can't really punish you too much for like going the thing. They do have quite high tempo heroes though, so you just need to play the map smart. Okay, lane is going well here. Have a little glove of haste, magic wand. This is okay as well. Looks like you're deciding not to go for the Wraith Band. I will say that you did spend your gold very late, so that is one thing you could have been a lot better on here. And very nice kill on the Darkseer, and you're going to be able to farm this whole wave as well. Yeah, I didn't like the solve there. Just because you are playing against Windrunner, I would rather just eat the Tango there. I think you're, with the tower protection aura and your Tango, you're going to regen more than enough. You don't actually need to use the solve there, I think. So that was a bit of a waste, but it's still okay. Probably could have saved the solve there. So it's also a decent lane to consider getting raindrops in, because you are having some mana issues, and obviously the raindrops is gonna block the Windrunner power shot damage, which is quite a lot when it hits like level 3. So that's definitely a decent option here. So you can consider just like finishing your treads and clearing out a raindrop. This isn't really the best time to play aggressively on them, because they have a bigger wave than you, and the Darkseid just came back to the lane with full HP and mana. Also, you're quite low and you have no regen, right? So if you take a bad like engagement now and you end up taking a bunch of damage from it, it's going to result in you not being able to farm. So you kind of just want to play the lane a little bit relaxed right now and just last it. Try take as little damage as possible and try to deny as much as you can. And again, you take very long to spend your gold. So that is one of the big things I'm seeing here that you're struggling with. Oh, and you're deciding to go Battle Fury Rush, it looks like. So this is really bad as well. Okay, never mind, you're buying the treads. Okay, it's not too bad. This is not too bad. The only thing, again, is just that the how long you're taking to spend your gold is very inefficient. Like, you just take way too long, and it makes your laning quite a bit weaker. So you just want to keep that in mind. But the item choice is okay here. I'm happy that you're not trying to rush Battle Fury before treads. Okay, so at this point the lane is a little bit awkward. The reason why is because, like I said, you just haven't really spent your gold fast enough, and it meant that you couldn't really contest the lane as much as you wanted to, because you're always very low mana and HP. For example, if you have an earlier stick, if you have raindrop, you buy that wraith band, you get your items out faster, you're gonna have a lot better sustain in this lane, and you're gonna be able to like contest every creep, and you're also going to be able to pressure the Windrunner quite a bit. So I think that's probably one of the biggest problems in this lane, but other than that, your last lane has been quite good. And I also liked the aggressive plays you made when you had more creeps than them, when you hit your levels before them. That gave you the advantage in the earlier parts of the lane. Also, it's Darkseid Pos 4 with the Pos 3 Windrunner, so they do have quite a bad lane as well, so it's not too hard of a lane. So you should be like free farmed in this lane. And I'm gonna mute this guy because this is really annoying. Okay, we have the treads going for the Battle Fury. I think at this point in the lane, you're not really interested in hanging around here much anymore. Like the Windrunner, she's kind of gotten a little bit more than we would have liked out of the lane, and it's hard to stop her from farming here now. Like, she's just too high level. So I think the best plan of action from now on is just to start shoving out the lane as fast as you can, and then trying to farm this big camp and this small camp and this camp if possible, and then just rinse and repeat that until maybe 10 minutes where we can look to maybe TP top or mid. Mid, not really, because Zeus is a big threat to us this game. Top is a possibility because Klinks is definitely possible to kill, especially when Slider has level 6. So this is kind of the way we want to move into the lane right now. I do feel like you should have started doing this earlier as well, just shoving in the lane. Like, you don't really want to just lane passively anymore. You'd rather just shove in the lane and then go to the jungle and just farm the jungle. Like I said, you can't really play aggressively on this lane anymore, just because they have high levels now, and once they get these levels, it just makes it quite hard to kill them. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like you could be a lot more efficient with like the way you're farming for the past, let's say 3-4 minutes. Like from 6 minutes onwards, the lane slowed down a lot for you, and I think you should have transitioned into just shoving out the lane as soon as you can and start jungling a bit earlier, because your net worth isn't like very good right now. Yeah, like it's only 3.9k at 11 minutes, so it's very low actually. And I feel like it could be a lot better, especially if, like I said, if your lane goes a bit better, you spend your gold faster, you can lane more, you can contest everything. And if you transition into shoving in the lane a bit earlier. Also, because of like the fact that your farm isn't so good and the lane slows down so much, like you never even looked at this top rotation, right? Like this top rotation is definitely... Yeah, we see here, like it lines up pretty badly because your slaughter isn't really there. But still, this is always something that I just want you to keep in your mind. TP into this top lane around 10 minutes, trying to kill the enemy carry and possibly take this tower with the catapult. A lot of the time what's going to happen when you do this, the enemy carrier is going to react by TPing bottom and taking your tower. And then what you're going to do by that, you're going to create a safe area top. You're going to take this tower with a catapult with your offlaner, and then you're going to have this jungle area to play, and your supports can place vision here. So it's just a rotation you want to have in your mind. I'm going to skip forward back to where we were now. Yeah, so like as we can see, this isn't really the best for you. The Windrunner can kind of like annoy you quite a lot. So you don't really want to be laning like this. And she's even able to force you out of the lane there. So that's kind of why you don't want to stay in that lane. And it's also the reason why you want to start shoving out the lane earlier and jungling. Because obviously if you do that, the lane is always going to be like shoved in more, right? And you're gonna have you have higher farm and XP right now, so it would be a lot easier to continue doing that. But now, like, you've taken too long, and now she can bully you out of the lane because she's got really high levels in power shot. And also, it's really bad that your team allowed the top tower to drop here, because now this is a really bad time to go top, because now the enemy have already like controlled this area, right? And also the Snapfire is really high level, it's a huge threat to you. Zeus is also a very high threat to you, so you need to be very careful about playing around these heroes. Right now, like the best thing you can still be doing is probably, like, you kind of need your co-op to make these plays right now. You need to be jungling, like your item choice isn't the best either. I would like to see you buy the damage components first, so something like Ring of Health and then Claymore. So you can farm jungle faster. And also something you notice is you have neutral items like this. You need to be using this Iron Talon. It's gonna help your game so much, so you need to be asking for that item. Also, you want to be bottom. You want to be able to shove out this lane, and you want to then go into the jungle, so the Windrunner can't free farm like this. So like I would say just buy a raindrop to help you do this, so you don't get spammed out by power shot. And just shove out the lane as fast as you can. Don't try fight the Windrunner at all. And like I said, that should have started happening a lot earlier, because now we're in a position, now you try to make the top rotation, and now they can actually, like, now they want to defend it, right? Because they're ahead on towers. And they can they don't really mind just defending stuff. The fight might be pretty good here. No? Okay, yeah, no way. The problem right now at this point in the game is you just take way too much damage from Zeus spells and Snapfire. And the biggest problem with this is there are only 3 heroes. While this is happening, the Windrunner kills bottom tower, and then she TPs and cleans up, and the Klinks is hitting mid. He's not even in the fight, right? So this fight is just really bad. This all has to do with this bottom. Like, you're not really playing the bottom lane correctly early enough. Like, you're not controlling it, and Windrunner just gets way too much because of it. And also the fact that your off lane went terribly. Like, your Slaughter has 0 net worth. And also your co-op not really being able to use the spells on the rotation. So a lot of things going bad here at this part of the game. But at this point, a PA with Battle Fury that's going Battle Fury wants to buy, that has Perseverance and Broadsword, this is not what you want to be doing, right? Like, you can't really do this. And that's why the 10-minute rotation is nice, because that early on in the game, these heroes aren't that strong and they can't really pressure you like this. And if you force him to TP here, it's very natural for you to just run here and here. But the thing is, you need to TP top while this tower is still alive. Otherwise, it's very hard for your allies to like get here and like help you, right? So yeah, this play just comes way too late. You get punished quite hard for it there. You guys are in a pretty bad state now because you kind of control none of the map, and the Clinks isn't awkward, right? So he can kind of just hunt you very easily. Also, seems like your supports are both farming as well, so you don't really have like sentries and stuff. So it's going to be very hard to farm the map now. Need to be very careful of this Clinks. You see the Clinks showing bottom, so you feel pretty safe. And as you can see, all of this has affected our timing a lot as well, right? That one death, that was very unnecessary because of a late rotation. And also our farm in general is just low because we didn't start shoving out that bottom lane fast enough. And we didn't kind of like use the jungle early enough either. We only started trying to shove out bottom lane and jungle around 11 minutes, which is way, way, way too late. And when you see this huge fight happening bottom, you need to be hitting the top tower. You can't be jungling. Like as soon as you see all the heroes, you go hit the tower. Because now it's possible for them to TP and try catch you, right? Obviously here, like, yeah, no. Like you still wanna, like, you know this tower should be dead. You started hitting it too late. So again, very bad because your teammates are losing fights and you're not getting enough out of the map while they're losing those fights as well, so. Yeah, you queue up the Battle Fury net at the BKB. You don't really have much of a choice here. You kind of need to get strong now and you need to be able to fight now. So it's pretty much the only choice you have. Using the Nether Shawl. I mean, you would rather want to use the Vambrace. But, I mean, obviously the Nether Shawl is quite good versus Zeus and Snapfire. That's definitely not bad. We'll switch perspective there. Should be able to get this kill. Okay, so it's a good kill. Again, the biggest problem right now is you guys just don't really have much of a map. Unfortunately, Clinks is showing a lot, so it makes the map a lot easier for you to play. And you get a free kill there. The Clinks just travel. How did he get here? He just TP'd and ran here, okay. So yeah, the enemies are throwing, fortunately. Once you get this BKB, it's going to be a very strong timing for you. Because like I said, once you get that BKB, there's very little they can do to you while you're in BKB. Okay, we should just continue farming our BKB. It's very bad if we die right now. And we don't want to be running bottom. We want to be running top right now because we're not going to be able to defend this tier 2. All our teammates are dead. We're only going to look to defend the high ground. There are 5 heroes mid, right? So we need to be top right now, hitting this wave and hitting the top tower. Or if we're scared of Clinks, we then back off and we go jungle. Even if it's just a solo Clinks, we can always TP out, right? He has no way to cancel a TP and you have max blur pretty much. So it's very hard for him to kill you if you just TP. So, you know, you're just wasting a bit of time there by running there to that tower. There's no reason to do that. You can't defend it. So you just need to accept that and you need to go to a part of the map that you can farm. So like you should have ran, instead of running from here to here while they take this tower, you should just run here, farm this, push out the wave with your blur active, farm this, you know, just farm this area. You need to be farming that BKB. It's very important. Okay, you have the BKB now, so the next fight is going to be very important. Targets in this game, best target is always going to be Zeus, right? Zeus and Snapfire are pretty much the only heroes you can reliably kill. So you need to make sure you're always initiating on Zeus or Snapfire. Worst target would be Darkseer and Windrunner. Why? Windrunner can pop Windrun and you don't do any damage to her. Darkseer, he's got mech pipe, extremely tanky, very hard to kill. And Clinks, obviously, is quite tanky as well, but he's also a good option. But the best option is always going to be Zeus. So you want to always make sure you're trying to initiate on those targets. This is okay, but the problem is now you pop your BKB too early, right? Like you recognize there, when I say that's okay, I mean you recognize that Snapfire is a good target, right? But the problem is the way you start this fight, you start on the worst target and you pop your BKB immediately. And what did I say earlier? The BKB is like the most important thing here, right? You need really good BKB usage in order to like win your fights. So the best way to do that is to go on targets that threaten you the most while you're not in BKB, and that is Zeus and Snapfire, right? So if you can kill this Zeus during your BKB, it means that there's not that much threat left anymore after Zeus is dead, because he's the main guy that punishes you when you're not in BKB. So it's actually very important you initiate on the Zeus or the Snapfire. When you waste your BKB timing like this on a target you can't take down, it's just really bad. And when you see the fight is like this, your BKB is already halfway done, you need to immediately just run away, or you need to just start TPing out right now, right? Like you can't continue fighting, Zeus is still alive and your BKB is gonna end, right? So you can't fight anymore. That's the way you need to look at it. So first fight with the BKB goes really badly there, because you just initiate on a really bad target and you don't back off when you realize the fight is going badly. Your next item should be Desolator. You just want an item to help you kill people faster in your BKB. That's the only thing that matters. MKB is a good option as well because it is Windrunner, but I think Desolator is better because, like I said, the only target you actually need to kill like very fast is the Zeus. And Des is also going to be very helpful killing Clinks and Snapfire and everyone else, right? Windrunner right now, you need to hope your Quap can just deal with her with Orchid and Yules and all that, right? So I much prefer the Deso here, just because you need that damage to burst that Zeus. But the MKB isn't bad either, so it's not too bad. Yeah, unfortunately, the way these fights are starting in a way we can't really take them. I think this is the point in the game actually where you asked how to skip creeps. So basically the best way to look at it is to look at your creeps, right? So if you look here, these creeps are like bottom lane by your tier 2. Then the mid creeps are going to be a little bit ahead of that because the mid lane is a lot shorter than the side lanes, right? So when you see this, you should know that the creeps mid are going to be around here if they're on your side, right? So that means the enemy creeps are going to be around here somewhere, okay? So this is the way you kind of like figure out how the creeps are going to, where they're going to be. So what you need to do here in order to skip this wave, you need to run down like this and you need to aggro this wave with a dagger. And then if you're able to do that, your teammates then need to kill these creeps and stop it from happening, right? So this is actually what you were asking earlier. So yeah, you miss one wave, but your teammates are still defending, so you can probably defend. The Clinks does have Aegis. Yeah, it's quite hard to defend this. So you should just, like, you missed the first wave, it's fine. You need to just skip the next wave now, right? Obviously this wave should have been skipped, and you can always like see where that wave is going to be by just looking at your own creeps. So if your mid lane creeps aren't there for you to see, you look at your side lane, and then the mid lane creeps are just going to be a little bit ahead because the side lane's longer, right? And you're basically just going to kill the creeps so that the enemy can't push anymore. So here, this fight is, you can't take it because 4 of your guys are dead already, right? So the only thing you can actually do here is just go skip this wave. And you need to hope that they don't go for end, and if they do, the creeps die to the tower, because you can't really do much else right now. Or someone needs to buy back and kill those creeps. So unfortunately you missed that first wave. And you weren't really like there in time. That's why you weren't able to do it. You actually could have stopped this push if you stopped that original wave that was around here at the time. So that is definitely something that could have happened here. That could have delayed the game. You guys are getting a comeback fight here, and they only got 1 Rax. So the game is by no means over. And you got a lot of gold out of that, so you're going to get a full item. And if you continue to, like, if you start taking the fights correctly and you initiate on the right targets, there is a very good chance you'll be able to win this game. So here, this is perfect. The enemy are throwing. Just push in bottom, get the bottom tower. And if you continue initiating on Zeus and Snapfire, it's going to be very possible to win this game. Should be able to kill the Clinks here as well. The enemy are throwing this game right now. Yeah, and you can see now the game is pretty much back to even because they have pretty much fully thrown their lead. You're going to get probably 5k gold worth out of the map while they're dead. So it's pretty much even game now. Besides the Rax mid, obviously. You can probably just take this bottom tower. As you can see, it's only Zeus and Snapfire. And Zeus, you should know that he has no items that help save him. So if he just shows, you just jump him and you kill him. He actually can't do anything if you just pop BKB. You do need to be slightly careful about buybacks though, because that can be awkward. So you decide to back off here. You get a really good item there. I'm not sure why you're not using it. Should definitely be using the Orb of Destruction. It's really, really good for your hero. And as we can see, gold is pretty much even at this point again. So again, this game right now, it's just going to come down to how you take the team fights. If you're able to initiate on Zeus or Snapfire and just burst those heroes out of the game, that's what's going to win you this game. Okay, pretty awkward fight here. Okay, and kind of just get caught up position there. Like you should be using your blink to just get out here. So here you see the fight is awkward. You know Windrunner's a big threat to you obviously with MKB, so you need to be careful about her. And you just need to blink out right now. Like you need to blink to Quap or ES, but you decide to blink to Ensh. And also you need to pop your BKB right now. Like, when you let them stun you, it means that you can't blink away and you just die, right? So you can't be so greedy with your BKB there. And once like initiations start badly like that, you should always immediately just try get out and reset. Because once that happens, the enemy all know your position, so it's very easy for them to take the fights. So obviously not the... Pretty bad death there. You're probably gonna have to use buyback here. So yeah, you should use buyback here, otherwise they're just gonna go for the end. And you buy back too late, so they just end the game. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate ending there. Obviously, you definitely had a chance to win there right at the end. But I'd say that, like, overall, the things, I think, like, I'll still stick with the same things. Like, I think you should just try focus on that laning stage a bit more. Like, the post laning stage especially, like what I said about that. You just need to start being a lot more efficient after that laning stage, and you'll see that you just get your Battle Fury a lot faster, and this game is just completely different. Also, like your item timings, like they were very off, right? If you have this Battle Fury, let's say 12 minutes, and then you have like BKB at like 18 minutes, this is a completely different game, right? But your timings come a little bit late. Also, the fights you took are definitely something to like look at as well. Very important. You always need to analyze which are the best targets to go on first. Like in this game, the first fight you took when you got BKB, you initiate on Darkseer, the worst target possible, right? All his items are made to save him and his allies. So it's just the worst target. Like Zeus, 0 defensive abilities, and he's the biggest threat to you. So you need to kill Zeus. Like Zeus is #1 priority, right? So yeah, pretty much the game just comes down to that. Again, I would encourage you to like focus on that laning stage stuff. Your item, like buying your items faster, spending your gold faster. The most important thing though is like that post laning stage time, right? When we're hitting around 10 minutes, look out for that top lane catapult timing. Make sure that you're shoving out the lane and jungling and being as efficient as possible as early as possible. And the games are going to start being a lot easier for you. So it's going to be the replay analysis, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.